For the longest time, when we thought of Thailand, we probably pictured amazing beaches, incredible food, bustling cities. But lately, something's been shifting. In a world that's still kind of processing the pandemic, Thailand is aiming to become something much more, the world's go-to capital for wellness and healing. Let's dive into how they're doing it. Think about it. That last trip you took, or maybe the one you're daydreaming about right now, was it just about getting away from it all? Or was there something, a little deeper going on? The pandemic really forced this global timeout, and it made so many of us rethink what's actually important. And it turns out our own well-being has shot right to the top of the list. And look, this isn't just a hunch. It's a huge cultural shift. That shared experience we all went through has put our health, and I mean both mental and physical health, front and center. And this new focus, it is completely changing the game for the massive multi-trillion-dollar travel industry. So, if the entire world is now looking for ways to feel better, what does that actually look like as a market? That's what we're going to get into first, a world in search of wellness. And when I say this market is booming, I'm not kidding. The global wellness tourism market is on track to just blow past $1 trillion by 2025. Just to give you some perspective, that's more than what the entire airline industry makes in a normal year. So yeah, this is not some small niche trend. It's becoming a huge driver of the global economy. So what are we even talking about here? What is wellness tourism? Well, it's not just about fancy spas and yoga retreats, although those are definitely part of it. Really, it's any kind of travel that's focused on improving your well-being. It's a holistic thing, right? Covering everything from your physical health to your mental state and even your spiritual side. Okay, so we've got this massive, growing demand for wellness. So why is everyone's attention suddenly turning to Thailand? What makes it the top contender to be the world's healing destination? Well, the answer isn't in some brand new strategy, but in its ancient healing arts. What's the secret ingredient here? What does Thailand have that other places don't? It's way more than just gorgeous beaches or amazing hospitality. The real secret is in this deep, authentic, culturally ingrained approach to health that's been passed down for generations. At the very heart of this whole thing is the idea of holistic health. See, in the West, we tend to separate the mind and the body, like they're two different things. But in Thai culture, they're seen as one interconnected system. You can't really heal one without looking at the other. And that philosophy is just woven into every part of life there. And the core of their expertise is something called traditional Thai medicine, or TTM. And let's be clear, this isn't some new age trend that was cooked up for tourists. No, this is a legitimate, comprehensive healthcare system rooted in Buddhist philosophy that's been their main form of medicine for centuries. TTM is really built on these key pillars you see here. It's got herbal medicine, physical treatments like the world-famous Thai massage, and spiritual practices. But it's all based on this core idea of balancing the body's four elements: earth, wind, fire, and water to find harmony. It really is a complete blueprint for living well. And this right here, this is the crucial point. In a lot of places, mindfulness is something you get from an app on your phone. In Thailand, it's just a way of life. It's totally intertwined with their spiritual and cultural identity. And that kind of authenticity is something you just can't fake, and it's exactly what people are looking for now. Okay, so Thailand has the cultural foundation, the deep history, but turning ancient traditions into a modern global industry, that takes a real strategy. So let's look at how they're actively building this wellness empire. Right, so this is not just happening by chance. The Thailand Wellness Capital Initiative is a huge coordinated push from both the government and the private sector. The goal couldn't be clearer. They want to make Thailand the most trusted, highest quality wellness destination on the planet. And they've got a very clear plan built on three main pillars. First, a massive global marketing campaign to get the word out. Second, they're focused on training up a super skilled wellness workforce. And third, they're building partnerships with international groups to make sure they meet global standards. And what's really cool is how this strategy supports this incredible variety of options. So on one hand, you've got these incredible urban resorts that literally use architecture to bring a sense of nature and peace into the city. And on the other, you have these rural retreats, completely surrounded by nature, using the forest and the streams as part of the actual healing process. There's really something for everyone. But of course, a plan this ambitious is never a straight line to success. There are always going to be bumps in the road. So, to get the full picture, we have to talk about the challenges Thailand is facing on this journey. First off, they are not alone in this race. I mean, the competition is intense. You've got India, the home of Ayurveda, you have China, with its own incredibly powerful tradition of medicine, and then you have European countries like France, famous for their spa culture. Thailand really has to work hard to stand out from the crowd. But maybe the single biggest challenge actually comes from within. As one expert put it, there's a real danger of over-commercialization. And that raises a really important question. How do you build a trillion-dollar industry without losing the very authenticity that made it so special to begin with? That is a very tricky balancing act. And that brings us to our final section, where we look ahead. What does Thailand's big ambition really tell us about the future of travel itself? Well, the economic impact here is just enormous. Over the next 10 years, tourism is expected to create something like 126 million new jobs around the world. And if you look at the top areas for growth, as you see here, wellness tourism is right at the top. This is about way more than just vacations. It's about creating good, sustainable jobs for people all over the world. So really, it all comes down to this. Thailand's superpower is its ability to blend the ancient with the modern. It's taking centuries of wisdom and combining it with world-class airports, resorts, and technology. And that unique mix puts it in a perfect spot to lead this fundamental shift in why we travel, moving away from just escape and towards real restoration. Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As that line between healthcare and travel gets blurrier and blurrier, are we heading towards a future where your doctor doesn't just write you a prescription for a pill, but maybe a prescription for a 2-week trip to a specific place to heal your mind and body? It's a pretty wild idea to think about.